My wife told her friends she settled for me. We have a perfect marriage. We've been together for 9 years. Married for 4. We rarely fight. We're often intimate. We go out on date nights. Send memes to each other. The works. Recently, we got news that her ex-boyfriend overdosed and passed away. Now, my wife has no connection to him, so we expressed our condolences to his family over text and nothing more. She often goes out with her friends and I always let her. I have no problem with it because I used to trust her 100%. I had to work late, so I told my wife that if she wants, she can call her friends over to our place since I wouldn't be around. Well, the rains were heavy and our office was told to leave early because some light flooding was taking place on the roads. I reached home and I could tell her friends were there, so I quietly went to our room unnoticed. Everyone was speaking quite loudly though, so I could hear a lot, and the ex-boyfriend came up in conversation. My wife said that 4 years into our relationship, she got a call from her ex-BF, who lived in a trailer, offering to help her see the world. She said she had a bag packed and was ready to leave, but in the end decided not to and settled for the stability I was giving her. I didn't know about any of this. She never told me, and she says that apparently she settled for me. One of her friends asked her if she ever regretted her choice. She said that she used to, but not recently. I guess that's it, right? I'm not unstable enough for her to be attracted to me. She has to settle for someone like me. That one word just keeps revolving in my head. I slipped out of the house and went to a cafe to gather my thoughts, but got a call from her asking me where I was. That I was due home half an hour ago. I went back and she greeted me with a hug and a kiss as always, but I wasn't really into it, and she asked me why my mood was off. I mumbled something like stress from work and went to bed, skipping dinner and our usual alone time. Except I couldn't sleep. I woke up a few hours later into the night and sat in the balcony just thinking about how I'm not good enough for her. About how I'm sure she doesn't love me. I know she at least loves me a little. But even for that, I have no guarantee. It's the next day now. I didn't sleep much last night and wife's still asleep. I didn't tell anyone anything about what she said because I just can't. What do I do here, guys? Should I even talk to her? Divorce? Is there any hope for us moving forward? Does she even want to move forward? I don't know. I'm sorry for how jumbled up this is. My head is not really in a right place now. Tell her you were there, what you heard, and listen to her explanation. Then make your decision. Yeah, you need to talk to her about this. Damn, it's the part where Op mentions her saying she used to regret but hasn't recently. Like, how long ago was she thinking this? A conversation is definitely needed. First, telling her what you heard. I honestly hope she has reasonable explanations for this, but I can understand why this hurts you. This is a lot. I honestly see how you're questioning everything. But don't jump to any extremes like some comments suggest. I would definitely confront her about it. Death can conjure up all kinds of emotions. What might have been, the road less traveled, etc. There's no point avoiding the conversation. Sit down with your wife. Explain that you heard what she said and talk it out with her. Golden rule. Never disparage your spouse to anyone. You are each to be the other's staunchest, most faithful advocate. Everything about this is foul. I'm sorry. Can't tell you what to do. But you're never going to be the same in the relationship ever. I'm so sorry. I know you are hurting. I would speak with her about what you heard. You seem like a great husband. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. You don't deserve it. I don't think your wife meant anything bad, LBY it personally. If your wife had said, I chose stability, instead of, I settled for stability, would you still be Pondering this? Seems like a poor choice of words in an otherwise happy marriage. Try to have a proper conversation first. Running away and avoiding talking to her won't give you peace of mind. But she said she regretting being with you up until recently. It's not looking good, boss. Talk to her. It's only going to drive you nuts. Build resentment and drive a wedge into your relationship until you do. Don't let this go on. Get it all out with her. That is so insulting. After spending 5 years with you, she was seconds away from leaving without a conversation. Her bag was already packed, and only stayed not because she loved you but because she decided she could benefit more from your stable job than a drug addict living in a trailer. And to this day, she still thinks you're beneath her and she's doing you a favor. Definitely bring this up with her. She owes you at the very least an explanation. To be honest, it doesn't sound like she settled for you. It sounds like she realized you were the better choice and stayed. Let me just say to you that as someone who was in a very toxic childhood environment and relationships, the volatility of the relationships is what makes it exciting but also heartbreaking, and it's sometimes hard to recognize what a healthy relationship is like. You don't have extreme highs because you don't have extreme lows. I told my friends when I first met my now husband that I didn't know if there was any sparks or butterflies, etc. Now that we've been together for years, I understand that we burn like coals, not fireworks. We are in it for the long run. Perhaps she meant that in the beginning she missed the chaos, but now she's realized how blessed she is to have you and that she's settled in now. I wouldn't trade my husband for the world, but in the beginning I too had doubts about whether or not he was really the one. Just speak to her and ask her what she meant and say that it was incredibly hurtful to hear. The fact she decided to stay when he messaged means she recognized she didn't want that kind of toxicity in her life anymore. It's like a drug addict saying they won't do doobed anymore but they can still miss it. Mate, gonna be brutally honest, this is a personal opinion. I wouldn't accept being her second choice. I would sit her down and repeat back to her exactly what she said. And tell her just how that means the last 9 years has been a complete and total lie, and then tell her my intention is to immediately start a divorce. You can suggest couples therapy, but if you move forward, you will never forget it. Anything she has ever said or done is now in question. This means every time she has hugged you, kissed you, said she loved you or had sex with you, it is out of obligation to hide the lie. 9 years, mate, and this one remark speaks volumes. If she ever regretted her choice, she said that she used to, but not recently. This is going to be a tough decision for you and a tough conversation, but it has to be addressed. Now it is absolutely possible for you two to reconcile and work through this. However, you need to realize she has forever altered your relationship dynamic and how you will view her from this point forward. The smallest of behavior changes in her can trigger a serious negative response from you. Every time she looks at you, tries to kiss you or initiate sex, and you will instantly be transported back and feel the pain all over again. It can take years if not decades to just reach any point of trust, and it will never feel the same to you. I strongly suggest you consult a lawyer just to find out what your best options are. You too can seek counseling, but this is a huge breach of trust you're dealing with. Best of luck, mate. Seriously. I hope for the best for you. I don't think I'd stay with someone who felt that way. If I heard my husband say he settled for me, I think that would kill my attraction, devotion, respect and loyalty immediately. She loves what you provide, and maybe she grew to love you at the same time. That's an awful thing to hear though, and I'm sorry. You can talk to her, but you'll always have this in the back of your mind. Why not just talk to your wife? It sounds like she was selling a drama to her friends. I see people do this all the time. On top of feeling nostalgic since the dude's death. I don't think she doesn't love you, and I don't think your marriage is over. People on Reddit get all uppity and tell people to leave their partners, but it's not real life. Talk to your wife and explain that your feelings are hurt. It's gonna take time to build back trust, but actions speak louder than words, and she stayed with you for more than one reason. If she truly settled, she would be high and miserable in an RV right now. Talk to her. No way you can just forget this and carry on like normal. I would confront her and ask her why. Because she had bags packed and ready to go. Only financials were in the way of her decision. I'd ask her exactly why she decided to be with you knowing you weren't the one she really wanted. And if you really deserve to be stuck with someone that only wanted your money and what they could get from you. Ask her why you shouldn't just divorce her. Make her ass sweat and agonize over it the way you have.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.